Okay. Go? Okay. I'm Emma Williams, and growing up, I had lots of ideas about what I wanted to be. I still do. At age 8, I wanted to be a radio presenter. At age 9, I applied to become a British Airways flight attendant. Then they found out that I wasn't old enough, and so when the recruiter called our house. Not to worry, by then I already had decided to be a farmer, an environmentalist, and a musician. When my family moved from England to the US, I thought I'd become a foreign correspondent. So I started by documenting every single detail of the 8-hour flight over here. By the time I reached high school, I had, in turn, set my sights on being a politician, a veterinarian, an artist, a horse trainer, and an architect. Then it was time for college, so I went to architecture school and discovered I didn't really want to be an architect, changed my major 7 times, and ended up with a degree in English. So, naturally, I went into advertising. After a year of writing copy for hunting knives, ski boats, and telecom systems, I moved to Washington, D.C. for grad school, where I got a job riding horses professionally before realizing that being a poet and riding horses doesn't actually pay any bills. So I went back into advertising. Today, most of my career has been in communications, and I actually have my own firm, but it hasn't been the straightest of paths. I'm skipping lots of parts. But the mentoring, support, and education that I received along the way gave me a capacity to see opportunities, recognize choices, and pursue those options even when they maybe didn't make any sense or required a huge leap of faith. But what if I didn't have that mentoring, that education, or that support? Think of your own life for a minute. What if you didn't have the access, the exposure, or the opportunities that you may have had to get to where you are now? I started thinking about this question in a whole new way during a visit to Orchard Knob Middle School in 2012. There I met 2 8th grade girls. One wanted to be a pediatrician, one an attorney. Knowing the challenges many low-income students face, I couldn't help but wonder whether these girls really knew what that meant. Would they have the mentoring support and the exposure and the access to help them achieve those or any other dreams? It's been well documented in recent months, so it should come as no surprise to anyone here that as it stands now, around 50% of Hamilton County students are classified as low income. Only a third of them will have the skills necessary for living wage jobs by the time they finish school. So while it sounds like I'm painting with a broad brush here, I think we can assume that many of our students, especially in low-income areas, are not necessarily growing up in a world where college, let alone grad school, is a given. Put another way, not all students have the same access to information, career exposure, social networks, or support systems, and yet our schools are filled with students saying, what if I become a doctor, a lawyer, an artist, an engineer? Which brings me back to those 2 girls. What if there was a way to help them connect with women in our community who are doing careers they were interested in? What if we created time and space for these girls to see whole new possibilities for their education and their careers and livelihoods? I saw an opportunity, and I created Power Lunch, a program to help middle school girls, especially in low-income areas, envision and plan for bright futures by connecting them with professional women in our own community. And with the support of then Principal Crystal Sorrells, I launched the program at Orchard Knob Middle in January 2013. Power Lunch focuses on helping girls gain exposure to a broad variety of career options at a crucial time in their development. In the process, it helps girls make connections with women they may not otherwise have a chance to meet, provides a chance for them to cultivate critical soft skills like etiquette, social interaction, and interpersonal communication. By design, Power Lunch is a simple plug-and-play program that fits within the confines of the school day. Usually lunch, we did have Power Brunch last year. This model reduces demand on school schedules and staff and keeps it easy for women to share their time. Who cannot share an hour of their time? Each year, participating schools choose a cohort of girls to join the program. Groups meet monthly, and invited Power Lunch guests who represent a diverse array of backgrounds, educational pathways, personal stories, and careers come and join us. And they don't talk at the girls. This is a conversation. They're asked to share their story, and the girls get to ask questions. The girls help to decide who we invite as guests based on their own interests. Recent guests have included veterinarians, coders, engineers, entrepreneurs, and at one school, even their own principal was a guest. Because they have ownership in who attends, and a blank slate to ask any questions that they want to ask. They really look forward to this. Believe me, if you reschedule a day, they will let you know. Today, we're in our 5th academic year, and we're in 3 schools, Orchard Knob, Tyner, and CGLA. Nearly 100 girls have been through the program, and we recently started 6th grade. I'll just add that I started to realize this was a success and was meaningful when I had girls start to ask whether they could bring their mothers to the program as well. That's when I knew that this meant something to them. So here are a few things that I've learned. Number 1, big changes start with small ideas. You don't need a big, crazy, huge, groundbreaking idea to do something. Power Lunch is one small idea with one small goal. You don't need to know what you're doing. I still don't. But with a little determination and some support, including from Causeway, also Unfoundation and Community Foundation, people are out there to help. And a handful of amazing people who took a leap of faith and believed in this idea, Power Lunch has taken root. But I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that everyone has something to offer, and I mean everyone. Whether you want to get involved with Power Lunch or you see an opportunity to solve another problem, you have something to offer, and there is always, always, always a place for what you have to offer. So if you see an opportunity to act, act. It's that simple. I didn't know what I was doing. I picked up the phone. I called the principal. Here I am doing a presentation and really freaked out about it. And I guess the biggest takeaway from that then becomes in taking that step and in acting when you see an opportunity, you might not change the world, but you might make one world a little bit better.